All right, listen to this. Things just lined up perfectly for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And if you think that this wasn't a master plan going into these three games against the Padres, then you are naive, my friend, because I got to think this plan was always set to happen. Brad J with you, Dodgers Digest. Hit the subscribe, hit the like button. Let's keep the party going. We're already at 8,000, building towards 10,000, double digits. Let's keep it going. All right, let's talk about it. What's going on? Well, yep, there you go. Snell and Darvish to start things off at Petco Park tonight. And here's the deal. The big three lined up perfectly on this one. The big three lined up absolutely perfect. You got to look at it. You get Snell on the mound tonight. You get Glasnow on the mound tomorrow, and then you end up with Yamamoto on the third and final day for the Dodgers against the Padres. And you got to think with the big three holding it down, this is important. And you got to think that the way this lined up perfectly, I'm pretty sure Dave had a little something to do with it to make it line up the way it did. All right, let's take a look at the standings so far for the Dodgers. Look at the numbers right there. Only one game in front of the hated Padres. They're 72 and 56. We're 73 and 55. Just one game separates them. The last 10, Dodgers have split it at 500. The Padres had a little bit of advantage with 6-4. But we go into three, and these three count big times. And I feel like the Dodgers got their number. And if you can't see the fact that they lined this up the way it went, I mean, look, who else would you rather have pitch the first game of three against the Padres? You'd want Snell. He's got the lowest ERA. He's got a 1.80 ERA. Why wouldn't you want him in that mix right there? Of course you would want him in the mix. And to start things off, to set the tone against you, Darvish, who I'm definitely not a fan of you. He does have 1,000 pitches, but he's going to need them all because the Dodgers, I predict, are going to take a victory. And I predict the Dodgers will sweep all three of these again. The Dodgers will go, they'll sweep them like they did at Chavez Ravine, and they're going to sweep them again at Petco. That is what's going to happen. That is the Brad Stradamus prediction for the Dodgers against the Padres. All right, so the big question is, what everybody wants to know is, will Shohei be back? Will the show be back in the lineup? Well, you got to think there is no way Show is going to miss this. There's no way. How would he? How would you even fantasize that he would not even make it in and he would not be playing? Here's the deal. Intimate concern. Remember, he was struck by a 93.7 mile per hour line drive in Wednesday's loss to the Rockies. Unable to stay in the game as a pitcher, took the next plate appearance as a designated hitter in the following inning. However, he was out in the eighth. They brought him out, and Alex Call, which I'm liking this Alex Call. I think he's really a good pickup for the Dodgers. Fortunately, the Dodgers were able to win without Ohtani on Thursday, and now we'll get the well-rested version of him back for Friday's series opener against the Pods, which is tonight, that we'll see that go on. And did you really think, I mean, think about it. Did you think that Shohei would sit out a game? Look, he has literally only missed 3 games in the entire season, the 2 from maternity and this one. And the thing is, he didn't sit this game out because he got hit in the thigh. That's not even the issue why he sat this game out. The reason he sat this game out is because he was scheduled to sit this game out. They wanted to give him a rest as we get down to like the final 30 games of the season, and they wanted to give him a rest. And I like the idea. So whether he got hit in the thigh with that line drive or not, Shohei was definitely going to be out of the lineup. So, but here's one thing I will predict, okay? Here's one thing that I'm going to predict on Shohei. Shohei will not steal a bag. There is no way he has the mobility to be able to steal a bag taking a 97 or 93 mile an hour line drive direct to the thigh. That's got to be a hematoma at that point. So I don't think he steals it all. And I'll tell you what, if Shohei steals a base tonight, I will take this coffee right here. I'll pour it into my shoe and I'll drink coffee out of the shoe tomorrow because this is how confident I am. There is no freaking way that he steals a base with that getting hit in the thigh like that. It's just not going to happen, right? But you know the kind of dude he is. He's going to play no matter what. And so Roberts has gone on to say that he's playing no matter what. He is going to be in the mix. So good for him right there. We want to see him back in. Let's take a look at what the Dodgers did yesterday on the hit parade. Like to see Betts getting busy. Look at that. 3 at-bats, 2 runs, 2 hits. Love that. 2 base on balls. Like reaching base 4 times for Mookie. Safe to say Mookie's doing good, right? Freddie Freeman, solid again. Look at that batting average in the low 3s right now. Smith, look at that. Smith and Freddie battling for the batting title. Love this. Let's see that down the stretch. Get up to maybe 310. That'd be nice. Conforto, doing Conforto-style things. At least he had an RBI, right? At least he contributed. That batting average is dropping like a stone, right? Then you look at the rest of the guys. But I'll tell you what, Call, I've been a huge fan. Batting 275 right now. This guy has been really showing up and doing good things. You got to like it. When you pick a guy up like that, you got to like what he's doing. So the Dodgers, what they crack off? 12 hits yesterday in that big win. And they needed to do that. Look, if you're going to split them, at least win the last one, right? You got to win the last one because that's the That's the momentum that you're going to have going into the next game. And who's the next game against? 3 in a row against the Padres to face our big 3. You couldn't have lined up any better in a Hollywood movie for that script. I mean, a non-woke Hollywood movie. But you couldn't even line it up better than that. Those 3 guys are everything to the Dodgers. Snell, a 1.80, his ERA. Glasnow, a 3.12. And Yamamoto, a 2.90. So if you're going to throw 3 pitches at the Padres in must-win situations, these are the 3 guys you want to go to bat with. I like the fact that Kershaw's not in that mix because I think that you just kind of want to save Kershaw for the Padres for later because they'll get used to him quick. So good stuff on that right there. So Dodgers back on track, heading to Petco. How did the pitching go since we did have Kersh on the mound? So he takes a win, 8-2 now. A little bit alarming, 5.2 innings and gave up 6 hits. But look, was able to limit it to 3 earned runs. He had 3 Ks, 1 base on ball, only walked 1 guy. So his command was decent. 3.13, that is his ERA, how it looks right now. Kasparius came in, walked 1, 4.58, that's his ERA. Sauer came in 2.2 innings for him, gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. Look at that ERA, not good, 6.37. But that's when you want to use a guy like that. You want to bring him in situations that you're already going to win that game, and you don't want to use a high leverage guy. But they did bring in Vesia at the end just to shut the door. Struck out 2 in 1 inning. Did give up 1 hit, 2.75, that ERA. Trust in Vesia. Big fan of that guy. Love to see what he continues to do for the Dodgers, right? So that's it. The big 3 will face off tonight. That's right. You got Snell, then you got Glasnow Saturday, and you got Yamamoto on Sunday. This could not line up any better for that. It just perfectly came together for the Dodgers. But I'll tell you right now, they saw this at least a couple of weeks out and knew that they wanted to get these guys in the direct rotation to face the Padres, face the big 3. Because what is it, Cincinnati after that. So I'm happy to see that's the way it goes. I'm predicting a Dodgers sweep, all 3 games. Dodgers will take them. Trust me on that one. Brad Stradamus has made the call. And if Shohei steals a base, I'll drink coffee out of his shoe tomorrow because there's no way that dude is stealing a base, being hit in the thigh like he was. Hey, that's going to do it. Dodgers Digest. You know the deal. Subscribe and like. We're trying to make that 10,000 mark. Appreciate you being part of it. You know, as you go through the day, always remember to just think Dodger blue. And let's go Dodgers.